Okay, so now let's get into the bread and butter because that's what everybody
Yeah.
knows. You post in the chat. You be in the chat
Yeah.
too, bro. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
But dude, let's hop into it. So I'm gonna give you the floor. You can take as long as you want. I really want you to break down the psychology of the sale for these veterans, bro, because you're closing consistently.
Yeah.
I want you to break down your thought process through the intro. What do you do after the intro? How do you quote? When are you doing like medical questions? Any little tips and tricks you got? And how you're
Yeah.
closing. So I'm gonna let you just take the floor, bro. Masterclass.
Cool. So yeah, I think like for the veterans is like my bread and butter. I really do like, yeah, I just have so much confidence buying those leads because I know for a fact like I'm gonna close off of them. So the intro is pretty simple. I just like say, hey, like, is this Bob? And they're gonna be like, hey, yeah. And then I just confirm information that they put down. Like, okay, cool. You still live in Tennessee. Okay, you put your age here, 77, and you put your beneficiary as, your wife. Like those three things ring a bell. Like, yeah, okay, cool. And then just asking them, if they need it for burial or like a funeral or just for some I love you money. They usually tell you right away, like, oh, I just need like a little bit of both or just a burial. Like, okay, cool. Like, listen, I just want to take a second and explain to you who I am. Like, my name's Isaiah. I'm an insurance broker licensed in the state of Tennessee to help you find the most amount of insurance for the cheapest rate. Like, does that make sense? And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And then I go right into health questions from there. So I go from there, like, okay, let's just like jump right into it. Like how our script does it, like, okay, we have a couple of discounts that you can qualify for. Like, are you a smoker, non-smoker? Hit that line and then go straight into medical questions. Like, okay, you go to the VA or the civilian doctor for your healthcare. And then you just go through all the regular health questions like strokes, TIA, stents, cancer, kidney, liver problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, like whatever. You get a good idea, height and weight. And then I go, okay, cool. Based on what you've told me, I have a couple benefits about the policy that I think that like are really important to you. Then I go into immediate coverage, death benefit, non-increasing premiums, like the actual benefits of the policy. And I say, okay, and out of curiosity, like, is this something that you can actually see yourself like benefiting from? And then if they tell me no right there, then they're probably not a buyer. Like, and I don't just hang up on like the phone on them. But like once we go through the benefits of the policy and I tell them what they can qualify for, like they filled out the advertisement. Now we're talking about like if it actually could benefit them, but they already know it would benefit them or they wouldn't have filled it out. So it's a little bit of like a rhetorical question. And that's kind of why I ask it. Okay, like at this point, like, do you really feel like a policy like this would be beneficial for you if we found something that was affordable? They're like, yeah, like if it's affordable, like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. Then I go back into budget. So then I go over their income. Okay, cool. And I like the line that I love to use. And I used to get a lot of income objections and like, why do you know how much I make? Like, and it just like brought a real like guard up with people because I used to ask income before health questions. And it's just like, I like to like recently I've been doing health questions before income because I think it like in my opinion it like validates me more. Like I don't care about your money. I'm not going to ask about that first. I'm going to ask about your health and tell you what you qualify for and then we can go over your money. Like your money is a separate issue and we can deal with that later, but let's actually figure out if this policy makes sense because if like you're telling me, yeah, I got stage 4 kidney cancer and tumor, it's like okay, we can get you some coverage, but like this is how your policy is going to look. You're going to get on a 2-year waiting period. Like, do you see yourself benefiting from this? And if they're like, no, like I want it immediate. I only want it immediate. Then I'll push back. Like, listen, like if you die by accident, it'll still pay out. If you, pay in a few premiums and then you end up passing away, it'll pay back your premiums plus 10%. Like that's much better than a bank. And like, I'll still try to close them. But if they're, like people are like, they're hard headed. So it's like, if they only wanted immediate coverage, like I'll go let a different agent write that policy and clean sheet it. Like that's cool. I don't care. So for me, like once I go for health questions, then I go to budget. Okay. Like my line that I like to use is like the insurance carriers typically don't want you spending more than 5 to 10% on these policies per month. So with that being said, like, are you currently collecting social security, disability, anything like that? Then they'll tell me exactly how much they're bringing in. Okay, perfect. And after all your bills are paid for, you do all the fun things you like to do. How much would you say that you're left over with each month, just as a ballpark? Only like $1,000. Okay, so we're going to try to use that number as our 5 to 10% because we're not trying to take a look at the $6,000 that you bring in because your VA disability. Like we're not going to try to get you a $600 a month policy. Like that's just going to turn him off. If he wants to ask for it, then we can always go up. But let's figure out a 5 to 10% of what you're like left over with. So that's how I do it. And then once we figure that out, then we just go into quotes. Like I just quote just like what I like told them I would, like roughly 5 to 10%. Like how our script does it is like a bronze, silver, gold option. So I usually do bronze like 5% of their budget, silver 10, and then the gold I'll push it. I'll go like 15. And then I'll tell them like if 15 like percent of their budget is only like 15K, but hey, listen, you're eligible up to $25,000 of coverage if you want to continue to look up. But out of those three options, like which one's the most comfortable, or do you want to look up for some more coverage? Then I'll let them pick if they want to start spending 400 or 500 bucks a month. But I'm not going to like bring that up as a first option. So that's how I go about the intro numbers. And I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Like once you get someone on the phone, it's like they always know exactly what they filled out. Or at least I would say like 80% of the time. Like I had a chick the other day that picked up the phone. Like she just came in. I called her immediately. She's like, yeah, like I need $10,000 right now. I was like, no, like this is for the life insurance to pay out your beneficiary when you pass away. Like, oh, I needed money now. Like, what can you do for me? Like you're the VA, right? And I'm like, what? Like, no. She's like, well, I'm in a nursing home. I have dementia. Like, I need something quick. I'm like, what are we talking about? So that's like that truly is like the 15%. Like, I'll be honest, like 15% of the people who are filling out the lead request are either like just tweakers, people who just don't understand what they actually like filled out, or people who are like, I didn't mean to fully do that. I was just wanting to see what it would cost. It's like, yeah, it's exactly why I'm here. They're like, no, like just email me. It's like, bro. And then they just hang up. So it's like, okay, those people were never gonna be buyers in the first place anyway. Like it is what it is. So, and that's gonna happen with every lead type. That happened a ton with like the other leads that I was running. So it's not because of your leads, it's just the industry. Like you're never gonna find a lead vendor who's like 100% close rate. Like they all want policies right now. It's like no one's doing that because it's impossible. Because you can't control the people who fill out the lead request, you know? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I've set appointments though. Like my thing with these leads that I've had to like learn is like when you call them immediately, like once they come in, like they probably like they might not pick up. It's like a real 50-50. But after like you call, once you send them a text and say, hey, like it's Isaiah, like I'm just getting back to you about the veteran life insurance that you were looking into. Like you still living in Tennessee, right? Or something like that. Then they're like, yes. Okay, perfect. Like when's a good time for a 5 minute phone call? And then they're like, oh, okay, like yeah, just call me now. Like
Dang, I didn't know that.
because
Okay.
like they don't recognize the phone number, which is valid. Like I decline calls all the time too. So like if I call and then I send them like follow up with like a text immediately explaining who I am, then they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, give me a call. And then I'll call them up and then they know exactly what it's for. Then we have a good conversation, whether or not they buy a policy or not.
That's actually fire. So what you're saying is you'll like triple dial, double dial them, but then
Yeah.
follow the text and like
Immediately if they don't pick up. Yeah.
and you're just ripping that off of like your normal cell phone then, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, I have a business phone now, but in the beginning, yeah, it's just off my cell phone.
Yeah. Dude, 100%, bro. That's okay. That's kind of fire. I want to take a step back. So you're going from intro, very small, what are you looking for, straight into like health questions. Did you always do that?
Correct.
Was that just kind of like the script, the way the script's been set up, or did you flip that at some point and then do like you
Yeah.
said, the figuring out how much money they make?
So how our script works in our office is intro, why, budget, health.
Okay.
So then I flipped it from intro, getting a small idea of what they were looking to get into, like just burial or like extra money. So intro, a little bit of an idea, and then discounts. That's where I think that's where I feel like I get a lot of people who are like, oh, okay, like we're into this, like right now. So like we're 2 minutes into the phone call, and I say, okay, just letting you know, like you have a discount that you can qualify for. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, okay. And are you a smoker or non-smoker? Oh, non-smoker. Perfect. Yeah, we can
Okay.
get you down for that discount. And then it's like, okay. And then for all your medical needs. So it's not like I don't go, okay, Miss Terry, I gotta ask you a few medical questions, unfortunately, because people just get turned off by that, I feel. Because I feel like I've said that before, and people are like, oh, wait, what? Like, no, wait, no, I don't have to do that. Like you said no health checks. It's like, bro, what? So like I just like and I don't even preface it. I just go straight into it. Like once I like go intro, explain who I am just briefly, and then figure out like what they need, discount, and then straight into okay, for all your healthcare needs, go to VA or civilian. Okay, cool. Any heart attacks? And then I'm just right into it. Because truly, like, that's what they want. They want to know the information, they want to know prices immediately, and they want to just make a decision, yes or no, really fast. Our job is to take them through the process of not only the numbers, but the emotional side of it too. So that's where like the real difference is. It's like they want to go quick and we have to show them that, yeah, we're going fast too. But I'm also going to take you on a little bit of like a emotional roller coaster here because I need you to understand the importance of getting a policy right now rather
Mm.
than waiting 2 more weeks to think about it. So, and then the way that I do that is pretty simple. It's just like let's just jump right into it. Now, are you a smoker, non-smoker? Go through the health questions. And then once like we're getting into it, because they're like, oh wow, he's snappy. Like, let's get this done. It's like, okay, cool. And then like, who is this policy for? You just put down children. Like, what are your children's names? How many children do you have? Okay, cool. Now I get all their beneficiary information. Okay, now, with that being said, then I go over budget because now it's like, listen, my goal here is not to take any food off the table. My goal is just to make sure that we find something that's affordable for you. So, like, let's go over your budget. Okay. Now, after budget, health questions, income, now you're at like the big three. Now it's time for quotes. And then after that, it's just finding something that's truly affordable. And then during that process, like, you're digging into the why, you're figuring out why they need it, if they already have something, if they don't have something, that's when you ask all your questions that you're supposed to ask. It's just, I think, getting into the health questions quick and the discounts quick is, I think, like what really makes them feel like, okay, yeah, like we're getting into this and I'm going to figure it out fast. Like that's what they think. But really, what I'm doing is just making them think that we're going to rip through this and I'm going to give them quotes in a minute. And then they're going to think about it and call me back. But really, I'm going to take them through a little bit of an emotional trial run here and explain what it would look like if they didn't have it in place. Look, figure out what it would look like if we got an additional policy because you already have 20,000 that you got up that you got set up 20 years ago. Like, let's run through a scenario where you already had that, or if you had an additional policy. Like, let's run through a couple of things and build some value before we get into quotes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any other tips while we're here, tips or tricks in regards to presentation that you can give to agents that are trying to sell vets more effectively from your experience?
Yeah. The one thing that I would say is that I've gotten on the phone with some vets before who were like, yeah, like the advertisement said 50,000. Like, I need 50,000. I'm like, okay, perfect, brother. Like, there's no problem with getting you 50,000, but sometimes our hearts are a little bit bigger than our budgets. So let's go ahead and find something that's going to take care of your needs first and get the bare bones put in place. Then we'll take care of the additional. And so, like, prefacing it like that, but also for the clients that like you've gone through budget with and you know that they're broke, that they have no money, then being honest is the best thing. So,
Mm.
like, if we were running through right now and I was talking to someone who was left over with less than $500 a month, and they were telling me, yeah, I want to pay for my whole burial and I want to leave some I love you money behind. Like, I want to do both of those. I just being honest and transparent, in my opinion, is the best. It's just like, okay, perfect. Like, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a look at something to take care of the full funeral expense. After we get that fully taken care of, we can look into more coverage to leave some I love you money, but we can both agree that we need to get at least the bare minimum put in place, correct? So then it takes their mind off of needing 50,000, bringing it back down to, okay, I only really need 10. I only need 10 and I can always increase to 50 later, but I need 10. So let's go ahead and start with 10. We can get 20 in a year if my financial situation changes, which it probably won't because they're on a fixed income. But as long as you're giving them like that idea of like you're not locked into this forever, then in my opinion, it helps you downsell the coverage amount a lot. And I think that's the biggest tip I would say for running veterans is downsell the amount of coverage that they need. So like some people think I need 50,000. Like, man, I just need it. It's like, okay, cool. Like, let's go ahead. We can get you qualified up to 50,000. But, and then go through and be like, listen, what we're looking at based on your budget and based on what it costs, let's go ahead and take care of the bare minimum. And I'm going to give you a call back in 6 months. After 6 months, we can go ahead and increase it to that silver or gold option. But for right now, we need to start with the bronze because you need to have something put in place. And they're like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And they might give you some pushback, but you're going to get objections no matter what. So you got to be a dog and overcome it. But it's what it is.
Oh, dude, 100%, bro. I appreciate you for sharing that because that's definitely a lot of game and that's a lot of perspective.